And truthfully, that's basically it. What's going on, everybody? It's Woho, or we're only human once. And today I'm going to come here and tell you how to make a slowcore type song, kind of in the style of Duster or Low, just that kind of slow, melancholic vibe. If you don't know who Duster is a, late 90s, early 2000s indie band, and they made a couple really good records in the slowcore type genre, mainly stratosphere and contemporary movements. Those are some pretty good records. I've seen this band live before, matter of fact. They're really good live. It's quite different as a live band than they are in the studio. But today I'm gonna try and portray how to maybe replicate their studio recordings in your bedroom, because this is the type of band that didn't really do a lot of studio recording. It's all lo-fi and DIY. So, we'll keep the spirit of that alive. And I just want to show you how I do it personally. There's no wrong way to do it, no right way. Maybe there is a right way, but, But let's get into it. Let's come over to the studio. But this is basically the song. As you can see, it's really simple. I have a couple guitar layers here, and it's not necessary that these are split up. They're just split up because that's how I recorded them. But basically, this is what it sounds like. But yeah, that's it basically. Just very chill, serene, melancholic vibes with a very simple and subdued instrumental. It basically all started with these two guitars right here. This is how most of my tracks start, but this is how this track started specifically. I was playing this, and I recorded it, and then I just, started riffing another melody on top of it, and I panned those left and right just a little bit. And it is looped. I didn't record that throughout the whole song. You can do that, but I was just, trying to save time, just in the moment, want to keep getting the ideas out. You can also, for rough demo's sake, do the record 4 bars and then loop that method, and then when you go to record a more professional sounding version, you can re-record the guitars or any of the instruments to not be looped. But that just depends on your personal preference, really. So we got the panned left and right guitars. These are kind of like the foundation of the song. And then I started adding more on top of that. I pulled out the stock Logic Roots kit, which sounds like this. But that's with a lot of effects on it. This is what it sounds like effectless. Still sounds good, sounds even a little punchier, but I added a limiter to it to make it sound like kind of overdriven and the input was too loud. And I follow it up with this tape deck VST that I'm currently running in demo mode, I guess. But I put on Vintage Classic Dub as a preset. And basically what it does is it just tries its best to replicate analog tape equipment. It doesn't work very well, but that's what it sounds like. I threw on a little soothe too, which isn't necessary, especially for this kind of music. Um, so that's the basic foundation of the song. And where I was at the time, I didn't have a bass with me because I just had my guitar and my MacBook and my microphone at my friend's crib. So what I did is I recorded um, the bass line basically like this. And then I used this Waves vocal bender to pitch it down. And on its own, it sounds kind of wank. But like when you put it with this, it sounds pretty good. And since it's not like a real bass, I feel like a lot of the super subby low ends of the bass that you'd try to EQ out aren't even there. It just brings a nice mid-low range. And then the kick drum is like the real star of the low range. So, you know, and it's very basic. This is just 2 chords. As you can see right here, like, I strummed a little bit right there, but it's really just a basic arpeggiated melody the whole time. And, you know, just to like establish the vibe, make sure you know that it's melancholy, I threw on this little synth pad, which I did bounce out because I had a couple effects on it that were making screen recording difficult. But I put a guitar amp on it, and then some soothe, and then some EQ, basically. So that's what that sounds like, and altogether, this is what it sounds like. Emotional, very, just like makes you feel something at least. And then for the vocals, vocal mixing is not my strongest suit, but I really just tried to make this like not that complicated. So I started out like, this is what it sounds like.
I woke up feeling like shit. Thought about a dream I had. I was sitting in your eyes. I couldn't get myself alive.
So that's what it sounds like. I started with a bit of EQ. I EQ'd out, you know, a low cut, which I've learned if you like do a low cut this way, it's more of a natural low cut, like a low shelf. I think that's what it's called, whatever. Than just a cut, because the cut apparently like boosts the frequencies right here. I don't know, but I lowered the mids a bit with these, and then I just used this high shelf to kind of like tame some of the sibilance and high end, because my vocals have a bit of rasp to them, and sometimes that really like comes out on the recording.
I woke up feeling like shit. Thought about a dream I had. I was sitting in your eyes. I couldn't get myself alive.
And truthfully, that's basically it. For the second half of the song, I didn't have any lyrics written, so I added this kind of like free flowing surfy guitar riff that's kind of shitty. It's kind of shitty, but when you listen to it in the mix, it sounds really good. Kind of feels like the payoff to the build up in the first verse, kind of like a song wide call and release where the first verse is, you know, vocals, and then the response is guitar. But that's basically it. That's basically how I made this song. Very simple. I made it in like an hour, and that's not me trying to flex. I don't think it's necessarily cool to make songs super quickly. It's cool to like lock in, you know. But it's also sometimes things just happen spur of the moment, and you got to capture that. And that's what this is here. But I thought I'd walk y'all through it. Y'all can get some, general ideas of how I recorded this shit. See if you want to try it out too. The song will be out at some point. Maybe I'll leave a link to a demo of it. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Write a song, dude. Let me know what you make. Yeah, I've been Woho. You've been here. I'll see you in the next one.